the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Hello race fans and welcome to Martinsville Speedway. We're here today with the Racecult SWM Gen 4 series here at Martinsville for the AHP 150. Hello, my name is Christian Delgado and I'm going to be the voice of tonight's race here on Elevated TV. And right now, with just under 5 minutes left in practice, we're going to see these drivers start to figure out maybe some race pace, maybe some quality laps right here. Martinsville, of course, one of the most notorious racetracks that NASCAR has gone through over its history. Nickname is the Paperclip. This 1 mile and a half, this half a mile track, very anonymous for its great short track racing. A lot of fights and tempers can come through here, and it's going to be a very, very exciting race. I'm very excited to call this race for you fans at home. Right now I'm board with Heath Smith in that number 1 car, as we're going to pan back to the 155 of Michael Milfit Jr. as these drivers just continue to practice, trying to get their brake points locked down, trying to make sure when they can and cannot get into the gas full throttle. Of course, with these Gen 4 cars, tire saving, especially at a track like this, is going to be key to putting yourself in contention for making sure that you can have a car at the end. With these Gen 4 cars, I think they rev up to almost 9,000 horsepower, 9,000 revs on the RPM gauge. So it's very easy to get in that gas too early and really eat up those rear tires. You'll see Heath Smith here trying to practice his race pace right here. You see these drivers right now. You're going to see this all race, trying to get to that red and white line right there, just trying to rip the bottom right there. Really, the bottom is really the only place you can go here at Martinsville. Very one groove racetrack. Of course, you're going to see double file on these restarts, but you're going to see these drivers really wanting to get to that bottom line and just trying to make passes that way. So especially in the race, you're going to see some drivers probably slip up a little bit, and they're going to get off that bottom. You're going to see drivers take advantage of that and pounce. Did you see that 19 car right there? Get underneath the 1 car, and ooh, he's going to get up there and tag the 1. You're going to see a lot of that in the race. You send it in a little too hard, overcook the corner. I mean, your intention isn't that you door the guy inside, but that's going to be something that's going to be very common here at Martinsville. You see that 45 kind of overcooked the corner? That's something that's also going to be something you could potentially see here too. It's very easy to kind of lock up the rears. If you put that brake bias too far to the rear of the car, you can easily see that driver just get on the brakes and just, ooh, the back end will just slide right out. And you'll see what happened. That number 45 car happened to anybody if they get into turn 1 and 3. It's a little too hot. just a minute and a half left in practice. Going to see drivers wrapping up their maybe practice runs for the race. And you're going to see maybe some drivers try to set some fast laps. Currently, John Freeman in that number 5 Fastenal Impala, your quickest in practice, with a 19.372, followed by Matt Cherry, really good run last week at Michigan, and Sean Boundy, last week's winner at Michigan, sitting P3 in practice. You see Heath Smith go climb all the way up to P6 in practice right now with a 19.466. In that number 1 Toyota Camry. But with about a little over 30 seconds left of practice, you're going to really see these drivers trying to wrap up their things. Maybe practice pitting right now. Getting into the pits here is generally pretty easy. As you see that number 1 just overcooked the exit. And ooh, back out right before everybody can get there. Let's see if we can go on board with John. I don't think he's going to get to the pits in time. But with practice wrapping up, you're going to see everybody maybe try to make one last practice run. We're actually going to get to see maybe. Nope, not quite. As that is the end of practice, we're going to get into qualifying. But you see right there going into turn 3, they're just so you just got to make a little dip inside and just make sure you don't overcook the entry into the pits. But as you see, well, at the paperclip, that's why they call it the paperclip. You see, you know, it's this track, this half-a-mile track out here, just shaped like a paperclip, as it's nicknamed as. But as we get ready to go, we're gonna see some drivers just try to make their way out to set some qualifying laps. So we got Matt Cherry out on track. See what kind of lap time he can put down. As we have a little stopwatch here over here at the broadcast booth. Let's see what kind of lap times is going to get put down here. Matt making his out lap. He's going to go to the start finish line right now. Boom. Matt currently with a 19.485. But you get 2 laps here at Martinsville. So right now John Hambly, your pole sitter, with a 19.421. Looks like Matt is content with that 485. But you see John Hambly right now, your pole sitter, with the 421. As I say that, John Hambly improves his time to a 378. John Freeman currently P2 with a 386. See Jack Watts move up to 3rd place with the 445. Rod Whitten currently in 4th with the 446. It's 1,000th off, as he's going to move up to P3 with a 389. You see Jack improve his time to a 403, but it's going to keep him in 4th place. Still have a lot of drivers that are trying to make their way out to the pits. To make their laps. So if we can find the driver right here, Sean Boundy out on track with a 24.136 right now. That's last. Not something that Sean is used to being, is qualifying towards the back. He's qualified up front, I think, the last 3 races, I believe, has been the pole sitter. Sean Bounty's going to improve his time up to a 19.716. That's good enough for 11th right now. Poor qualifying effort for Sean. Probably not what he wants to see there. We'll see Anthony Burleson. And now going out trying to make a lap. With 2 minutes left. Let's see what some of these drivers can do. We see Jace Parrish go up to P7. And Wally with the 19.508. Let's see what Anthony can do here. He's in the gas. We'll see if he can get a good run off the corner. He gets a pretty decent one. So they send it in the turn 3 and 4. Kind of missed the ball. Not really, actually. Good corner. Let's see what he can get here. 19.5. That's going to move him up to P9. And looks like he's content with that 19.5. See Sean Bounty out here. Trying to make one more attempt at this lap. You saw him really go wide into turn 3 and 4 there as we panned to him. He's just trying to get the best run to the start-finish line as he can. See what he can do here. Sean currently P13. He's going to have to improve if he wants a better starting spot. Sean not improving on his time right now. It says, I think he ran a 4.04, a 4, but I think he hit the wall or something. That lap did not count. That would have, if that lap did count, that would have put him P5, right above Tyler Chalk. See Michael Dobie on track right now, currently P16 with a 20.0. See if he can improve on this time. 5 seconds left. It's going to be cutting close if he wants to improve. 20.3. That's not going to help his time at all. But practice is done, and we're going to head to our race. So we're going to get this grid underway once we get all these drivers in here. Drivers undergoing their drivers meeting right now. A little bit of a different race for these guys. I was told by race officials that there's going to be an X limit for this race, just due to how chaotic Martinsville can tend to be. But your starting grid today, starting on pole, is going to be John Freeman, and rounding out that row 1 is going to be John Hambley. Row 2 is going to be Rod Mitten, with Jack Watt starting at P4. Row 3 is going to be Tyler Chalk with Matt Cherry. Row 4, Jace Parrish with Michael Milfit Jr. sitting in P8. Row 5 is going to be Anthony Burleson with Charles Widner, rounding out your top 10. Row 6 is going to be Shane Huffman with Tim Paradiso. Row 7 is going to be Sean Boundy, your last week's winner, with Heath Smith, starting P14. Row 8 is going to be Noah Rainwater and Michael Dobie. Row 9 is going to be Justin Blackburn with Matt Adelasso in P18. Row 10 is going to be Zach Stroop and Bill Paradise. Will round out your top 20. Daniel Huff and Patrick Blunder, P21 and P22. And that is going to round out your field for tonight's race. 150 laps here at Martinsville. As we will check on your weather real quick, right before we go green. 65 degrees, 0% humidity, and 2% and 2-mile-an-hour wind. Would like to give a huge shout out to the folks over at Michigan. I know they up in northern Michigan. I mean, I don't even know. And over towards the Lansing area just went through a really bad tornado. So prayers up to the people over there. But right now, lights are off on the pace car. And we're going to get ready to go green here at Martinsville. Once again, loves and prayers to everybody over at Michigan. I know they're out of power right now in some parts. But pace car's in. And we're going to be green here at Martinsville. Because we're yellow already. Right in the back. Looks like we have Jack Watts back here in the number 77 involved. Let's take a look at what happened there. See if see what happened here. Ooh, that just looks like the who is that? The 19 car? So it keeps wanting to reset. Looks like the 77 is someone in that towards the back. Just getting put together. That might have been Patrick Blundell, maybe. I'm not sure. But the lead has not changed right now. It's still John Freeman up in front. Rod Winton has moved up into P2. John Hambley sending your P3 spot. Roger, league owner, sitting in P2 right now, does a great job managing the league, getting everything set and put together. So a huge shout out to Rod, doing God's work, making sure everything looks great. Reaching out to Cody, who I work for Elevated TV, trying to get someone to broadcast this league. And I have such a blast doing this. These drivers put on such a fun race to broadcast, and hopefully this Martinsville race doesn't disappoint. But like I said before, these drivers do have, for the first time, have an X limit for this race. So they have a 25X, and then they'll be disqualified from the race. So this really gives an incentive to be patient and not to drive kind of over their heads. Obviously, Martinsville, one of the more tighter racetracks, a lot harder to pass. Plus, it's just a small track, right? Half a mile isn't that long. And so we'll incentivize these drivers to, be a little bit more patient. Don't be prone to just put the chrome horn to someone behind you and potentially wreck him out. Because once you get up to, that 25X, you're not going to be welcome to race. The iRacing has a system where once you hit that many X's, it will just kick you, and you're not even allowed to race, right? So, but John Freeman decides to pick the outside here. Pace car's off. He's going to get to lead this race through the Geico restart zone, and we're green. I'm going to try to get all this action for you guys, but there's going to be a lot of aggressive racing here. You see John and Rod right here battling for this lead right here. You see Rod trying to peek his nose under there. Battle for P4 right there. You see Matt Cherry getting around the number 19 of Jace Parrish. Matt P2 last week at Legacy Michigan. Matt is always such a consistent driver. He's always going to be up here towards that top 5. So not a surprise to see him making moves early. Got a good battle in the back right here. Zach Stroop trying to get around Heath Smith for this P13 spot. That pass should be pretty easy. Like I said, that one car's out of the groove, and he does make that pass. You see Rod right here, still sitting in P2, but he is getting a little bit of pressure from that number 70 of John Hambley. John also very consistent. John had a really good run at Sonoma. Not the best race at Michigan, as you see. Rod trying to duck underneath. He's going to get a little bit of apron. Compromises that entry. He's going to keep P2 right now. So see Sean Boundy right here, already up to 7th. Had a pretty poor qualifying effort, I think, starting 13th. Already up 6 spots to the 7th position. Right now, everybody's single file. Just trying to find out who they're running around right now. Trying to set up passes and everything else like that. Just waiting on these drivers in front of them to make a mistake. See the top 3 out to a little bit of a gap. Matt Cherry right now, 1.5 seconds behind your leader of John. But right now, I think, these front 3 I think might be pushing their cars right now, just trying to, stay in front of each other. And Matt right here has a pretty decent gap, about 0.8 of a second gap to Jace Parrish back there in P5. But you see Sean getting past Michael Milfit Jr. right here, moving himself up already into P6. See a battle right outside the top 10 right here. See Tim Parasito going into P11. Zach Stroop's going to follow him through. Ooh, the 8 car. Michael Doby has a moment right there. Looks like he's collecting right now, but he is stacking up this whole field behind him. Looks like he's got that car under power again. He's trying to make his way back up through the field. Ooh, we have a caution. We see it live. Looks like Zach Stroop was in that. Let's take a quick look at what happened here. Ooh. So it looks like the 45 kind of slow on entry. 2 tries to check up, and the 27 just gets in the back of him. And then the 27 slow. The 8 gets into the back of him. 84 gets some damage there. Just a huge calamity in the back here. See Michael Doby right there with a lot of front end damage. But lap 19, and we're under our second caution of the night. As you're going to see Michael decide to take his car down pit road. A lot of front end damage. Don't blame him. Going to try to get some of that fixed. You see Rod Whitten in the lead. It looks like John has decided to take his, our race leader of John Freeman deciding to take his car down pit road. Maybe get a fresh set of Goodyear tires. Sean Boundy up in the P2 now. Some strategy coming into play right here. See for John Freeman coming out of pit road right here. He's going to be starting P16. Going from the lead all the way back to P16. You see Matt Cherry also deciding to come down and take tires. Bill Paradise. Daniel Huff taking tires. John Hambley, your P3 driver. Michael Doby, of course, coming down and getting some of that damage fixed. Still, that front end's still pretty beat up. But this is going to give the race lead over to John. Rod, my bad. I was stuck on the John Freeman show for a second. This is going to give the lead over to Rod Minton. See Rod there. starting, I think, P3, I believe. Worked his way up to P2 early in this race, and now you're race leader. Now I'm interested to see how these John and Matt and Bill and Noah Rainwater deciding to come in on the second lap, along with Matt Adalasso deciding to come in and take some tires. And now they're in P19 and P20. You see Noah right there, and that number 05 machine. Deciding to come down on the second lap to go and take stuff. You see the pace lights off on the pace car, which means we are going green this next lap. Looks like Rod decides to pick the bottom right here. You saw John Freeman on that last reset decide to pick the top. And you see Rod deciding he wants the bottom. The pace car's in. As we're going to get ready to go into the Geico restart zone. And we'll be green. See a great jump by Rod, and as we have a wreck in the back, Matt Cherry. Let's take a look and see what happened here. Oh no. Yeah, Matt just trying to be aggressive on those fresh tires along with that number 70. Trying to pass the, I believe that's John Paradise. Bill Paradise, my bad. And then number 556. And you can't really do 3 wide here at Martinsville. And Matt, unfortunately, gets hooked into that outside wall. Luckily, a long race, so hopefully Matt can get that car fixed. Obviously, the tires aren't going to be getting spun out like that. But you just see a little dimple on the front of his car right there. Looks like it only kind of impacted the front. Really nothing else, so hopefully that damage isn't too bad. Hopefully no engine damage. But that will be our third caution of the race with only 26 laps complete. You'd figure with that 25x count that some of these drivers would, calm it down a little bit, try to be a little bit more patient. But obviously, if you have those fresh Goodyear tires, sometimes it's just hard to stay behind some of those guys. Like everybody from, it looks like 13th on back are on freshies, but the leaders, everybody that hasn't pitted is on 30 lap old tires because they haven't pit yet. So 27 to be exact, but we'll round up to 30. The lights are still on the pace car, so we're going to go on a quick commercial break while we're under caution. Once again, under caution here on lap 28 of 150. As we are back and we are green here at Martinsville. Rod with a good jump. All these drivers trying to make their way down to the bottom. As we're out, as we have another caution. Let's see if we can find what this caution was for. It's a 45 car. Let's see if we can grab him. Of Tim Paradiso. Just looping it around. Now it looks like the 70 car actually gets in the 45. The 45 flips over. Oh my god. I don't think I've ever seen a flip here at Martinsville. But you see Noah Rainwater with a lot of damage to that front end. Nowhere for him to go. That is crazy. I don't think I've ever seen a flip here. But yeah, fourth caution of the day. I was made aware of some information while we're under commercial break here. We're going to go on board right here with Shane. Where is he at? Shane Huffman. We have an ARCA team owner in this race of Shane. Our good, one of our racers, Shane, Noah Rainwater. Give me some little quick facts about him. So Shane is the owner of Pinnacle Racing, which is an ARCA team. And they've won all but one of their starts, which was the top 5, which they got a top 5 in. And Shane right here also used to drive for Junior Motorsports in the day. Used to drive for Dale back in the day. So very cool to see you know, an ARCA team owner running in this this league. That is very cool. We wish the Shane the best of luck in their IRL races and in the ARCA series. You know, I used to race back in the day, so I know how hard it is to put funds together to make a team like that. So we wish Shane the best of luck. But we're going to be green here once again at Martinsville. Rod continuing to lead this race. See Michael Milpitt Jr. right there going underneath this 26 for trying to get that P2 spot away. Cannot make the pass work. That's going to open up the door for that number 95 of Charles Widner. Trying to make a move on that 155. See the number 5 of John Freeman underneath. Heath Smith trying to take over that P6 spot. John on fresh tires compared to all these guys. He's the first driver that are on fresh tires compared to these guys. So make sure to be looking out for John to be making moves, trying to make his way up to that lead again. See John really wrapping that bottom really well. As we have another caution. It's in number 33 slow on track. See if we can ride on board with him to see if he can show us what happened here. like the number 10 of Justin Blackburn having some issues going into turn number 1. Maybe got a little help from that 8 car. And oh, Justin is trying to correct it, gets in that number 33 car. And Daniel really not anywhere to go. Has some pretty severe right side damage, unfortunately. I mean, but I wish I could say I wish the racing was a little bit cleaner, but this is just Martinsville for you. Martinsville is just super hard to, you know, stay off the guy in front of you, and yet less just to keep the car, to not wreck the car, yet less race around someone else. Especially in these Gen 4 cars where the brakes aren't the best, with how high the RPMs go up to. It's super easy to spin the car out on exit. I mean, it's probably one of the more difficult car track combos you can go to in the sim. You see no rainwater right there going around getting a lap. But with almost a third of the way done with this race, you have to think that some of these drivers in the back with some damage, you know, they have to be kind of upset about, you know, how this first third of the race has gone. Like, you think of Matt Cherry really quick throughout this whole race and just kind of got involved in some things that were out of his doing, right? Yeah, he went through wide on the bottom, but he gave those 2 cars plenty of room, just kind of got hooked in the outside wall. Right now, Matt's sitting currently in the P9 spot. Once again, still a long race. This race definitely isn't over. These ARCA cars these Gen 4 cars can take a pretty good beating and still be pretty quick here. So, I know, especially with the Gen 4 package, they did really beef up how much damage these cars can take compared to some of the other cars in the sim. Like the Gen 6 car, you put that thing in a wall once. Even the Xfinity car, you put that thing in a wall once, and you're kind of done for. But these Gen 4 cars can take a pretty good beating. You can get really slapped around. You can really beat and bang these things without really a lot of consequences. The lights are off on the pace car once again. Rod Mitten, my apologies. Once again chooses the inside lane. The pace car's in pit road. In the Geico restart zone. And we are green again here at Martinsville. Another great jump for Rod. Not the best start for Sean, and that's going to allow Michael Milford again to try to go on the inside. We're now Michael under the attack of the 95 of Charles. Charles really making that outside work right now. Making it work. Ooh, you see John Freeman really ripping the wall. Just missed the corner. He's going to lose a bunch of spots because of that. And Charles is going to get around the 155, and that's going to put him into the podium the first time he's been up into the top 3 of this race. See Jack Watts trying to rip this outside. He's going to pass the 84, Shane Huffman. Shane falling back pretty quickly. Probably just not liking what he sees up here, and he's trying to let these drivers by. We'll go back to your race leader right now, but he is under attack by Sean Boundy. As you see the 19 underneath the 155. The 155 starting to slip back. All the way back down to P5 now, starting P3. But you see Jace right there starting to get around Oh, the 155. He's going to move him up to 4th place. You see that number 79 car just kind of missing the entry of the corner. He's going to also lose a bunch of spots. Didn't get into the wall like John did, but you see that right front damage on John's car. We're going to go back to the battle for the lead. Getting around the lap car, that number 33 car involved in that last wreck. It's still the Rod and Sean show right now. As Sean is trying to do everything in his power to try to get up there, try to take this lead away from Rod. Rod has led every lap of this race since he's gotten out there to lead through pit strategy. When John Freeman and Matt Cherry decided to go down pit road and take some tires on lap 27. You still see Rod out here leading this race, dominating since he's gotten out there, but he's got a mirror full of that 26. We know Sean is very consistent, very quick, day in and day out, especially in this Gen 4 car. Gonna be a threat to win in my opinion, at every track we go to since I've started broadcasting this league. He's been a threat to win. So you see Sean all over the back end, trying to find a way around. See him right on that back end. Sean being really patient right now. Obviously doesn't want to wreck the 92. And once again, just super hard to pass here. If the guy in front of you was just hitting his marks, you got to really try some different stuff to try to get your nose on the inside of there and make something work. I believe I hear Sean downshifting. Let's see if we can listen to that. Yeah, downshifting in the 3rd. You see that? So we have a caution again. Oh, John is around. Let's take a look and see what happened here. Looks like him and the 2 get tangled up. I just puts the bumper to the 2 car. I don't know if the 2, it looked like the 2 kind of took a normal line, just that John kind of sent it in a little too hard than he should have. That's going to take out that's going to involve a lot of vehicles. Like I said, with that 25X, some of these drivers that are getting caught up and stuff that isn't their fault are probably going to start to get upset. I can't imagine what the comms are like right now. Like, come on, guys. Like, I mean, if it were me, I'd be like, come on, guys. Like, we got to work on this, right? As we have a huge stat, the race timing is all going up and down. We see Sean Boundy, if I can grab him, down pit road. You see Rod Mitten is still deciding to stay out on track. 60 laps on those tires. But we're going to pull up this pit road thing. We're going to see everybody that decided to come down to pit. See Michael Doby, Shane Huffman, Noah Rainwater, Bill Paradise, John Freeman, of course, with that damage, Dan Half, Matt Radalasso, right? A lot of drivers down pit road. But with Sean pitting I mean, that's a pretty good gamble. Sean came in P2, he's going to come out P5 with fresh tires. 60 lap fresher tires in the leader of Rod right here. You see P2 of Jack Watts with 27 laps on those tires. Justin Blackburn, 19 laps. And Johnny Hamby with 41 laps on those tires. So I'm interested to see how, especially the 70 and the 92 are going to hold up with those older tires. I can see Justin maybe being able to hold off some of these spots with only 20 laps, and even Jack with 30 laps, but 60, that's over. I mean, Rod has a little over double the laps of even the person that has the second most amount of laps on his tires. He has more than double that. So, but Rod right now, once again, has led this race, and you have to make a mistake unless one of these guys on fresh tires are gonna wreck the leader for the lead with not even halfway to go yet. I don't see why Rod would pay, right? If he can keep that car on the bottom and be consistent, then I don't blame him. But pace lights are back off on the pace car, and we're going to be green here again. Martinsville. Pace car's coming down pit road. We're getting ready to go in that Geico restart zone. And we are green once again at Martinsville. Be a good battle right here for the P4 spot. You see John Hamby trying to get around Justin Blackburn. Justin really high up in the groove. He's going to lose a couple spots because of that. But kind of your front four, it's kind of sad to say this is kind of being separated, but your front three kind of separated out about half a second in between each other. You see Sean Boundy already up to the second spot after pitting. Gotten past fourth and third. And sent here in P2, but you already see him hounding that number 92. You can just see him, he can get into the gas so much earlier. He can be on the brakes way more aggressively. And you already see him right on the rear end of that number 92 car. He's making a move. I don't think Rod's going to give it up that easily. Yeah, you can just see the tire difference. John just, like I said, 60 lap pressure tires, and you can see what that does and how well it helps the car drive. And Sean is going to lead your race for the first time, surprisingly, on lap 69. Great number to lead the lap on. But with everybody kind of calming down with this top three, we're gonna as I say that, commentators curse, we have a wreck again. Let's see if we can find where that wreck was at. Looks like everybody's straightened out. Trying to look towards. Oh, there we go. We see him in the back. It looks like Blackburn in that 10. See if we can find his number on the scoring. Yeah, Justin, one of the guys that elected not to pit, only that last caution. And ooh, did he get some help there? Let's see if we can go on the far chase and see. It looks like he might have got help from that number 8 car, and he did. 8 car gives him the bumper. He's like, hey, you're on older tires, man. I'm faster than you. You got to get out of here. Fortunately, spun that 10 car around. And that's going to bring on another caution here at Martinsville. See Rod finally deciding to take his car down pit road. Maybe a strategy call. Maybe he was waiting on Sean to go down, and he was going to pit immediately after to try to maybe overcut Sean. Maybe he just saw how good the tires are and how nice they feel, and was like and folded in, came down. That's going to put Rod all the way back to P13. So, rainwater right there, right in front of him with that heavy front end damage from that wreck earlier from Tim flipping upside down and nowhere to go. So, and having that heavy front end damage on that Camaro. Yeah, once again, I don't think I've ever seen a car flip here at Martinsville like that. So, really interesting to see that. Sean Boundy, John Hamby, and Charles Widner is going to be your podium right now. See Matt Cherry rebounding up to a P4 after getting hooked on that outside wall earlier this race. And Michael Milford Jr. is sitting in P5. Michael's been kind of sitting in this, and really in the top 5 all the race, so really good run for him. CJ Parrish also been in the top 10 for the most of this race, sitting in P6. Tyler Jockson in P7 in that number 27 Ford Mustang. Zach Stroop in that number 2 car has gone into a couple incidences. Heath Smith sitting in P9 and Anthony Burleson rounding out your top 10. My lights are once again off on the pace car. And we're going to get ready to go green here at Martinsville. Sean electing to choose the top. But going to the Geico restart zone. And we are green once again. Oh! I thought I saw something. I might have been mistaken. I thought, did Sean, I'm just going to go back and watch this replay. I for sure thought Sean got turned or something. No, okay, mistaken. But we do have a caution as we turn away. Looks like Noah Rainwater has spun around. See what happened here. Is that here? Oh yeah, just 84 kind of puts the bumper to him. No, I can't be happy with that. Like Noah's like, dude, I told the broadcaster about your Arca team. You're gonna spin me out on the restart? Come on, man, right? Yeah. Noah just hasn't had a lot of good luck this race, and gonna take that car down Perry Road, try to get some more damage fixed. A tough break for Noah. Well, that's going to actually give Matt Cherry the P2 spot. I don't know if that was by nature or some people pitted, but Matt Cherry up to P2. I'm very surprised that the driving is still this aggressive. Because they implemented that incident point thing to try to prevent this, and obviously still a lot of aggressive driving. Obviously they don't want people to just sit in line, but they also don't want people wrecking out every other lap, like and tearing up everybody's cars. But But see Noah going on the inside right there, maybe getting his lap back. But lap 81 of 150, a little over halfway, and under caution once again. I think light should be off on the pace car going to the line now, so not enough time for another SRM commercial break. But we're just gonna stay here and see Charles, Johnny. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so lights are off on the pace car. You see Sean electing to pick the outside again, which is going to give Matt Cherry the bottom. Charles Widner up in the P3. And Johnny Hambley up in the P3. And Charles Widner sitting in P4. And Michael Milfit rounding out your top 5. The pace car is going to come in once again. And we're going to try something a little bit different. We're actually going to go on board with Mr. Sean Bounty on this restart. See all those drivers right there barreling behind him trying to catch up. Sean right now putting the power down, starting to pull away from Matt. Just a little bit. See Mr. Freeman right there sitting in the P8 spot. Trying to recover. I mean, led this race for the first, 20-ish laps. And decided to come down a pit and has not been able to get back up into the top 5. Trying to recover, trying to turn this around and have a recovery drive to maybe try to race for this race win. See the number 2 car right there trying to get underneath the 155. Ooh, that was close. 155 not cutting him any slack. And he's going to slip behind him again. All driver single file. Ooh, you see the number 19 back there get a little sideways. But we see Sean Bounty with a little under a second lead to P2 right there. This is the first time we've seen someone really pull out to a little bit of a lead. And now Matt with the 7.7 back. Not really a lot of pressure from third place of Charles either. Everybody kind of riding around at the time being. Yeah, top 4 have kind of separated themselves out, but you do see the number 2 car still trying to get around Michael. Saw him peek his nose under there again. It's not going to make something work. Once again, trying to show Michael that, hey, I want this spot. Because we have a yellow again. See if we can find what that was for. Trying to find what this caution is for. See Shane Huffman out of the race. Maybe a connection issue. Trying to look to see if we can see any drivers maybe down pit road to see if maybe they can kind of guide us towards what that caution was for. Yeah, I'm not sure. Noah coming around getting his lap back. That should put him back on the lead lap, I think. And yes, Noah back on the lead lap. That's a good sign to see, you know. Noah having some bad luck. This race just can't put things together. So you love to see Noah getting his getting the chance to get his lap back. See him coming down pit road now. Probably gonna put some sticker tires on and try to make some spots up. Sean Bounty still your leader here. See Charles, we see Matt Cherry decided he was gonna take his car down pit road again. And fall back to P13. We know he can drive through the field. Obviously, he did the same strategy before, short pitting, and was up into P2 when all that stuff came around. So Deshaun Bounty, always a contender here. And once again, once he's taken this lead, has not given it away. He's been the only driver that we've seen that has been able to like pull a gap on the field. So maybe he can do that again. But once again, lights are off on the pace car. And we will be going green here soon. Because we are green. My apologies for that. But not missing action right now. You see Charles Whitner going on the inside, trying to battle for this P2 with Zach Strope. See the 5-car John Freeman trying to make this recovery under, but shafted to the outside as we're wrecking again. Noah Rainwater involved in another one. See what happened. Oh no. Noah cannot catch a break, man. But it looks like the 10-car Polo just, I mean, that's the definition of putting the bumper to someone right there. We're right on board with Justin right here. I can find him again. Just, lifted the rear tires off the 45 is the rear. It just lifted his rear tires off the ground. Ah, damn. And then Noah, just nowhere to go. Like, he probably didn't even anticipate that coming, but when he went up as high as he could, even if he went low, I don't think he would have got around it. Just wrong place, wrong time for Noah once again. But Noah's probably going to take that car down and try to get some more damage fixed. As we've almost hit the 100 lap mark here at Martinsville. Once again, we're here for the Racecult SWM Gen 4 Cup Series here for the AHP 150. I am Christian Delgado, your voice here for Elevated TV. As we have just hit the 100 lap mark here at Martinsville, also known as the Paperclip. Once again, a great recovery run for John Freeman. You see Rod back there in P6, making his way through the field again. Was leading your race at one time. Gotta love Rod. Your lead going right here. See right here, has led almost 50 laps, 49, just one short. Maybe he can get up there and take back this lead and bump that 49 up. But Rod, definitely look out for Rod to come out here and potentially battle for this win. Rod hasn't had the best luck this league, these last couple races, but definitely a contender when he can get some luck on his side. Because I believe we're going to get ready to go green here. Let's get this stat sheet off, and we're going to get ready to go green here again. Sean Boundy continues to lead this race. Pace car in once again. And we're green once again at Martinsville. As 155 gets a little loose. He's gonna catch it. As that might have brought out the caution actually. We'll take a look at that once again. I think the virtual caution flagger was a little trigger happy. I don't know. I mean, that should have been a caution. He saved it, but looks like he got a little bit of help from that number 79 car. But the 79 helped him save it. He gets it going. That's a tough call. 155 of Michael cannot be happy with that. You know, ended up in the top 5 basically the whole race. And now he's all the way back to 18th due to that wreck. We'll see if Sean decides to pit here. 46 laps on his tires. He does not. It looks like John was trying to fake him out. John also stays out. John up to P2 now. Getting around. He got around the number 95 before that caution came out. Once again, John making a recovery drive after giving up that lead. He's got caught up in a couple of wrecks. But that car looks pretty good for being caught up in a couple of wrecks, in my opinion. Looks really good, so. The lap 106, we're under caution here once again. So while we're doing some pace laps, we're gonna do and welcome back. Still under caution here at Martinsville Speedway, as we're here for the HP 150 here. There's Sean Boundy is still your leader. Pace lights are off on the pace car. And we're going to get ready to go green here once again at Martinsville Speedway. As Barney's going to wave us green. So we're green once again. Looks like a bad start from the number 5 car. Yeah, as the number 2 takes advantage of that rough start by the 5, he's going to take over P2. Zach Stroop up to P2. That's the highest he's been all race. See Shauna here already getting out to a little bit of a lead once again. Starting to gap the field a little bit. Ooh, you see that car go sideways out of the corner. And you see Sean continuing to gap this field, and the number 2 getting lit up by the number 5. He's really trying to get up there now. And you see the number 5, John, who really had a bad start, and he's really wanting to make up for that. But once again, super hard here to pass that Martinsville's. We're under caution again. Michael Milford Jr. involved in another one. He's having that same luck. So we're gonna find out what just got loose. Nose in an inside wall. Yeah, you see Michael right here just getting loose, boop, 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 boop. Pow. We're having some technical difficulties, so we're going to bring you guys to a quick commercial break once again. Sorry. Welcome back here to Martinsville Speedway. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but we are getting ready to go green here. Lights are off on the pace car, and John Freeman has taken the lead away. Looks like Sean Bounty decided to come down and take some Goodyear tires, and John Freeman is going to retake the lead here at Martinsville. And we're going to be green here. John Freeman pulling out the little bit of lead of a Rod Mitten right here. You know, John wanted to be up here towards that front, you know, leading the first part of this race, and now he's got that clean air. He's right where he wants to be. Looks like that car looks really good. Not sure if these drivers have faster pairs. No, they do not. I still see a little bit of right front damage, but still that car looks really good for some of the stuff he's been caught up in. See, Matt Cherry has already raced his way back up into the last podium spot. Matt's been caught up in a lot of stuff, but right now, sitting here in that P3 spot. Well, everybody sorted out. Let's go through the field here. As once again, caution is out. Looks like Anthony Burleson having a hard time. Let's take a look at what happened here. Oh! Sean Bounty involved in that wreck. Oh no. One of your race favorites caught up in that. Let's take another look at this. Let's go on the fire chase cam. See Sean under there, he's got the pass almost complete. And, man. Not clear. Yeah, just not clear. I don't know what else to say. Sean's a really talented driver, and that's just, I mean, a little bit of net code, but, I mean, I think he was going to turn him anyways. You see the 79 hook into 26. 95, ooh, KO'd into the wall. Damn, man. Sean Bounty involved in and with 26 to go, that is not what Sean wanted to see there. That might take him out of contention. Sean electing to stay out, not pin, to get that damage fixed. But that's exactly what probably some of these other drivers like John and Rod and Matt and some of these people up towards the top 5, like the higher top 10, wanted to see. Arguably the fastest driver here getting taken out with 25 to go. So, wow, that is very surprising. Well, this is going to be interesting. Now, when we go green, it's going to be almost a 20-lap dash to the finish. So, obviously the racing's been very aggressive this whole race, but This is really going to pick it up. This is where you're going to see the leaders starting to bump and bang for this win, right? And you have to think that some of these drivers have to be up towards that incident limit. You see Austin Blackburn and Shane Huffman already out of this race. I don't know if it was due to damage or due to disqualification from X's, because unfortunately my timing and scoring does not show incident counts. So you see, some drivers electing to come down and take tires. Anthony Burleson and everything else, but lights are off on the pace car again, and John Freeman is going to lead us to green once again. Rod Mitten getting around, trying to get around the one car for P2 right here. As we have, the 70s having issues. See if we can grab them. And the caution's going to come out again here at Martinsville. See what happened here. The 2 car just puts the bumper to him. But a great save by the number 70. Once again, I don't know if why iRacing is calling these so aggressively. Shauna did a great job saving that car. But caution did come out, and we're going to have to slow this field back down. You got to think that John Freeman right now is starting to get a little irritated, right? He keeps having to restart, get back in the zone and stuff after having these caution laps, right? Like he's obviously having a really good starts and everything else, and getting a good jump on the field, and then having to slow back down and having to do the restarts again. In my opinion, like anytime this happens, like I get so frustrated just because you have to restart the field, have to maybe because it's so easy to spin the tires here. It's so easy to, it's. You could easily money shift here if you have an H pattern shifter. I don't know if John happens to have one of those, but it's so easy to, make mistakes on these restarts. And, John has to probably be a little bit irritated just the fact that he has to continue to have to restart and stuff again. See John thinking about going down pit road, but elects to stay out. I don't think you're going to see any of these top 5, even top 10, come down pit road with. It's going to be 15 to go. Coming to the line, I think. You see the number 27 of Tyler Chuck right here is quietly sitting up here in the P5 with 15 to go, putting himself in a position to make some way. Kind of sitting, it looks like right here, like quietly sitting up here in the top 10 instead of his lowest position right now, 8th place. And now sitting in P5, so. Really great quiet day for Tyler right now. Looks like that car is really clean. Ready to go racing here. See if the lights are going to turn off here on the pace car. No. They do not. You see Jack Watts back here in P7 also having a quiet day. Got caught up in a wreck, I think, earlier in this race. But right now, sitting here in P7 also in a really good spot to make something happen here. Pace car's off, and we're going to be going green here with an SRM. Crank it up. Caution out once again. It looks like no rainwater also involved in this one. See what happened here. Oh my, oh. Looks like a reaction to, who is that, the one car? Heath Smith? Yeah, Heath. Oh, gets the bumper put, the 29 puts the bumper to the 1, and the 1 that kind of has nowhere to go. And then it looks like the 05 trying to be reactive to that number 1 car stopped on the track up there. Kind of doesn't get into the gas. The 79 puts the bumper to 1. You see the 556 in there. The 45 involved. The 69 involved. Huge wreck. Now let's go on board with Noah and see what he was seeing, because it looked like, to me, it looked like he was just trying to react to what was going on in front of him and just kind of got ran over. Of course, it's super hard to kind of tell others that, hey man, there's a car right up there, I'm trying to check out. Do that one more time. Yeah, it looks like he just checks up for the wreck and gets ran over. I mean, that's just, I mean, part of short track racing right there. Sometimes the drivers in front cannot see what's going on, and you kind of get dumped. Looks like Noah does get to stay on the lead lap, though. It looks like he got out in front of the pace car. So he's gonna get it. He is gonna get to keep that lead lap. Because going to lap down here with 10 to go, it's not something you want to see. And once again, John, even Rod, I could say is probably our league owner here at Racecult is probably a little frustrated with how the racing has been. I mean, I understand that it's short track racing and stuff, but it's really just takes patience to not wreck the people in front of you, and people just want to get these spots pretty badly. But we are 10 to go here. We tried to fit in a little SRM and crank it up, but unfortunately we had another caution, so. But we are 1 to green already. I think the admins are trying to short these caution laps to try to actually go racing here. Pace car's in. And we are racing here. 9 to go here at Martinsville. 8 to go here at Martinsville. And we're probably going to just stay up and watch this battle for the lead here if we can. You see Rod going underneath the number 27. 27 blinks out. That's going to really compromise spot. And then we have a caution again. It looks like a huge one in the back. Looks like the 24 involved. Or Matt. See what happens here. Oh no. Looks like the 19 puts the bumper to him, and I mean that's that's hard to ask him to save that car when he gets hit that hard in the rear. And unfortunately, some other drivers caught up in that. One thing drivers have to think about here is I don't think they have green white checkers in this league. So when you get under 3 to go, race is over. So that's something these drivers have to think about. If you guys keep wrecking, you're not going to gain positions, right? And you're going to... Oh, they're wrecking under caution. What is this? Maybe some temper starting to flare finally. As a 45 just hooks the 05 under caution. I don't know if that was on purpose. The 5's slowing down to catch the field, and the 45 just lifts his rear end off the ground and wrecks him. Just plain wrecks him. I'm not sure what that's about. Hopefully they can solve that in the comms and stuff. Well, I don't think that was on purpose, but I don't know. You know, 5 to go, and they're running towards the back due to getting caught up and stuff. Maybe that 45 just his temper got the best of him. Maybe it was just a simple mistake trying to get caught up. I would know that sometimes you don't see the cars in front of you and you accidentally get in the back of someone. That happened to me actually in an Xfinity race here, not here in the Racecult series, but in another league I raced in. I was leading the race and they also had a DQ limit, and it was at Daytona, so I had gotten caught up in several wrecks, and I had the lead at the time, and someone hit me under caution, gave me a 4X, and disqualified me out of the race. So I understand maybe Noah being upset. I also understand that 45 maybe just not paying attention, making a simple mistake into the back of him. So but this will be your last restart here, so we get another caution here. This will be the end of the race. But pace car's in. Going to be coming in this lap. You're going to see the pace car turn in just 1 second. And there you see him go. And we're going to have Barney waving this green flag one last time. You're going to see these drivers come into the Geico restart zone. And we are green at Martinsville. 27 gets spun out. And that might be the race. What happened to the 27 car? Let's take a look and see what happened here. Wow. The 2 just lifts the rear end off that 27 car. Did the 27 miss a shift? Let's go cockpit with this 27 car. Did he miss a shift something? Let's see if we can find the 27 car. Yeah. 2 jumps to start, gets into the back end of the 27. Let's go on board with the 2. See what his point of view is. I'm not sure what that was, because it doesn't seem like the 2 goes either. Maybe let's look at the 92 of Rod. Let's go back to this 27. I'm not sure how that happened. But wait, no, we do have green white checkers. I'm not sure how that calamity happened. It didn't look like the 2 went. It didn't look like the 27 obviously didn't go. I don't know, maybe the rod kind of backed it up and they kind of just all checked up. I'm not sure what happened there. I don't know how to call that. Sorry, fans at home, but I'm unsure. So we do have green white checkers. I don't know how many we have. We'll have to find that out. Maybe someone in chat can let me know how many green white checkers we have in this league. We haven't never had to go to a green white checkered, so I've never been had to announce this part of the race. So once again, apologies, fans at home, if you thought that was the end of the race. Obviously, we're still here racing, so don't go anywhere. We still got some more racing to do. See John out there warming up his tires, trying to get those tires warmed up. And that's going to put Matt Cherry in the P2. By the way, through all that calamity, that's going to put Sean Boundy up in the P4. Remember, he got involved in that wreck late in the race. And was back in the back half of the top 20, right? Now look at him, up into the top 4. But pace cars are off. Lights are off on the pace car. My apologies. And we're going to go green, hopefully for the last time here. Barney's going to be waving that green flag one more time, as we're getting ready to go into that Geico restart zone. John on the inside this time is going to go green. And oh no, is that going to be a caution? The 45 going to catch it. It's, oh, big wreck, huge wreck in the back. We saw that 45 get around, and we see Sean Boundy again, caught up in a wreck. Let's see if we can find him. Everybody's jumping around on the leaderboard, right? Here we go. See if we can find what happened here. So you see that 45 wrecking in the back, that's what we focused on. And the 2 putting a bumper to the 26, and that is a traffic jam right there. Holy crap. That's a traffic jam. Sean comes out here pretty unscathed for, you know, how bad that could have been. He was sitting in the middle of the tracks sideways, so honestly not that bad. It could have been a lot worse for Sean right there, but holy crap. That was a brown pants moment for a lot of those drivers that were behind him trying to get around that wreck. So yeah, it looks like the number 69 car getting his lap back there. And John Freeman is going to have to do another restart here for this win. John's got to be thinking now, come on guys, dude, let's just get this race over with. You know, let's go home. You know, probably some of these people still have to eat dinner with their families, depending on where they are. Some people just want to sit back and relax and just, you know, it's bedtime for probably some people. What time is it? It is 10:30 on the East Coast. So some people, you know, if they have an early job, are starting to think, hey, come on, guys, I gotta start heading for bed, right? So but lap 158 of 60 of 160 right now. We've had to extend this race by 10 laps due to these green-white checkers. You have to start thinking. No, there's no way actually. Drivers should be good on fuel here. You know, there's these with this track being half a mile, usually these drivers will fill up plenty for fuel wise. So I can't see drivers having to start saving fuel or having to pit for fuel. I mean, I don't know how many once again green-white checkers these drivers are allowed to have, but I hope it's not as many that people. I hope it's not as much to have drivers start thinking about fuel. So, once again, lights are off on the pace car. The pace car is going to dip into pit road. And once again, Barney's going to Give us that green flag. Because we're green. Once again at Martinsville. Ooh, you see Matt Cherry right there with a great run. You see that number 5 clear. You see, ooh, the 29 is going to put the bumper to the leader. And that's going to be another caution. Matt Cherry puts the bumper to the 5 for the lead. And once again, that number 5 car saves it. We'll take a look at that again. I mean, that's not a wreck. He saves it on the bottom, cleans it up, doesn't take out any other cars. I mean, that's debatable. We'll go on board with the number 29 right here. You'll see him put the bumper to the 5 car right here. Oof. He said, get out of the way, I want to win. And, you know John cannot be happy about that. John currently now in P7 after that whole situation happening. Now, drivers have been told that they got to watch their tempers. Regardless if they get wrecked out, they got to watch their tempers. They can't go out and retaliate like some of the IRL short track stuff is. Or even, you know, some NASCAR drivers. You saw Denny retaliate versus Ross. You saw, Chase Elliott hooked Denny Hamlin to the outside wall in the Coke 600, giving himself a 1-race suspension. But once again, this is Martinsville. You're going to see the bumper getting put to these cars. They just got to be patient. They can't do it that bad. You saw Ty Gibbs and Brandon Jones going at it for the win. Brandon Jones needed the win to get into the playoffs last season. And Ty Gibbs just dumped his shit, right? Remember, and that's also a teammate, right? Last season, Ty Gibbs and Brandon Jones were teammates. Brandon Jones in the 19 and Ty Gibbs in the 54, I believe, right? Or no, Ty Gibbs in the 18, right? No, Ty Gibbs was in the 54 last year. My apologies. And Ty Gibbs just put the bumper to him and cleaned Ty and Brandon Jones out for that win, and eliminating Brandon Jones' chance at a chance to race for a championship. You've seen the same thing happen here. You saw Denny Hamlin do the same thing to Chase Elliott back in the day. You saw Alex Bowman do the same thing to Denny Hamlin, right? When you're racing for a win, there's not a whole... sometimes you just got to put the bumper to him, and sometimes that's how racing here is at Martinsville, so... The light should be off on the pace car coming to this lap, I believe. And yes, lights are off on the pace car, and the race will be handed over to Matt Cherry to lead this off in the green. And you see Rod Minton right here, sitting in P2, kind of watching this whole battle happen. You saw what Matt was willing to do to the 5 car for this one. You might think that Rod has that in the back of his mind, thinking, hey, Matt did that to John. Maybe I'll have to do that to him to show that, hey, I'm willing to win this race the hard way too. The lights are off, and we're going to be green. Good jump by that 29 car. Let's see if Rod can get down underneath. He will. Rod's going to have to do something to get up there now. Matt's got a pretty big gap right here. But we are going to make it back to the white flag. White flag here at Martinsville. As Rod gets moved by the 155. And Michael Milford Jr. is going to take P2. And that's basically going to hand the win over to Matt Cherry. And Matt Cherry is going to win here at Martinsville. Move to 5, and now he's going to be sitting in victory lane. Matt Cherry, your winner here at Martinsville. Now let's go through your race results real quick, and then we'll go and talk to your top 3 winners after a quick commercial break. So Matt Cherry, your winner here at Martinsville. Michael Milfit Jr., P2. Johnny Hamby, P3. Really good run for him. Rod Mitten, I'm sorry. P4 after getting moved by that 155 for P2. John Freeman somehow comes out with a P5 after getting wrecked for the win. Wrecked out of the lead. Sean Bounty rebounds the P6. Probably not a finish he wants to see with how fast he was. Jace Parrish, P7. Matt Badalasso, P8. Heath Smith, P9. Michael Dovey, P10. Zach Strope, P11. Bill Paradise, P12. Daniel Half, P13. Charles Widner, P14. And rounding out your lead lap drivers, Tim Paradiso, P15. Patrick Blundell, P16. Jack Watts, P17. Noah Rainwater, really tough race for him again, P18. Nathan Burleson, P19. Tyler Chalk, P20. And Justin Blackburn and Shane Huffman gonna round out your field. You see Matt Cherry burning it down right here, trying to John Force it around this whole Martinsville Speedway. You see that car starting to smoke now. He burned that thing down. See the 5 car out there, still out there on track. I'm gonna see if John decides to park that car. Oh, he's doing burnouts. He's saying, I'm the winner. I deserve to win this race. Kind of mocking what Matt is doing. Obviously, John not happy with the way he was raced. John saying, I'm the winner. Like, I had this race won. I did all the restarts. I did all the hard work. And I got dumped for the win. You see Matt. Well, we see your race winner here at Victory Lane. But we're going to take a quick commercial break, get everybody ready, and we're going to interview your top 3 drivers.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
And we're back here live at Martinsville Speedway. And we're going to get your top 3 in here. So we're going to drag in your 3rd place finisher here, John Hamby. John, is Christian up in the booth? You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing great. P3 finish for you. It seemed like you were sneakily up in the top 10 the whole race. Walk me through your race.
Yeah, I qualified well. I think I top 3 or 4, somewhere up there, and I decided to go early for tires, and that was probably not a great idea to get back in traffic. Had a couple of issues, of course, we all did tonight. But as I was going through the race, I was trying to time my last pit stop so that I could work my way through as others pitted. And Martinsville, you saw people up front getting together, touching. Honestly, I was hoping for a top 5, got a little lucky with a wreck in front of me, and Rod, I guess he overcooked turn 1 the last lap, and just kind of got under him for third. I was really happy with that. Uh, Kind of a long night, but that's Martinsville.
Yeah, definitely Martinsville known for its chaos and everything, and it seemed like, as you said, like everybody kind of had some type of issue. I
Oh yeah.
It seemed like everybody had some type of damage on their race cars tonight. Just but that's just Martinsville for you. Rubbin is racing, but yeah, coming out with the P3. Any sponsors, friends, family, or anything you'd like to thank for this podium spot?
Hey man, I really appreciate Rod and all the guys putting this on. I really love this car. I've enjoyed this league immensely. There's some really good fast guys. I'm more of a road racer, and I've been learning oval from a lot of these guys over the last year or so, and I've been happy with how I've run at most tracks. But just thanks for them for putting this on. Thanks for you guys for a good broadcast. Uh, just appreciate everything.
Yeah, it's always nice when you're coming to a new side of race and finish well, but also we couldn't do this without you guys putting on a show at home. So we appreciate you coming out and racing tonight, and I'll drag you back down to celebrate with friends and family, and hopefully we'll see you next week.
Good. Thanks, Christian.
That was Johnny Hambley. He's third place finisher here, and we're going to grab Michael Milfit Jr., who snuck out with a P2 finish. Hey, Mike, it's Christian up in the booth. Got a copy?
Sure do. You got me?
Yeah. So sneaking out with the P2 finish, it looked like the leaders kind of getting together, and looks like Rod having an issue on the last lap. So just walk me through your race.
The first part of the race was just staying up front and staying clean and staying out of trouble. And then with the pit cycles, eventually you're going to get stuck back in the traffic. And it was trying to avoid wrecks, but you know how that is at Martinsville. It's hard to avoid them. And then at the end, it was just guys taking each other out, and I move up a couple spots. Guys take out a couple more people and move up a couple more spots, and then Rod slid out of the way for me. I appreciate that, Rod. Shout out to Rod.
Yeah, we saw Rod just kind of lose it in the turn 1, and just kind of was like, oh, here's P2 if you want it, and you obviously you took it. But yeah, ups and downs all race, but for you, but luckily, up here in the P2 spot. So anybody you'd like to thank, friends, family, any sponsors for this second place spot?
I like to thank Charlie, my teammate. He helps me out a lot. And then thank my smoking hot wife for letting me do this.
I always have to appreciate when you have the spouses willing to let you get away for a couple hours to have fun with some friends. So, but besides that, I'm gonna drag you down to celebrate with your friends and family and your smoking hot wife to this P2 finish.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. That was P2. Michael Milfit Jr. coming out with the P2. And now we're going to pull in the race winner here, Matt Cherry. Hey, Matt, it's Christian up in the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, so coming out here with the win today, kind of had to put the elbows out for this race win, but just walk me through your race.
Oh yeah, man, it was definitely a lot more complicated than what it should be. The restarts were tough here. I had to go all the way to the back early on. We were 3 wide and I didn't know it, and I came up into a guy and I spun myself out, which is, it didn't hurt the car, but I was just trying to be patient and work my way back through, and eventually, I got back up here. But I think the only thing that won me this race was I got on a different strategy than everybody else. My tires they were pretty fresh there at the end. I didn't have it maybe 20 laps on them, so I was really able to put the power down coming off the corners.
Yeah, I noticed that, and I mentioned that throughout the broadcast that you were one of the first people to always come down and take tires when some of the others decided to stay out, and then you'd be on the off cycle. And as you said right there, You were there ready to pounce, and
Oh
with the
yeah.
fresher tires, and was able to get out there and win this race.
Yeah, most definitely. I got that big run coming off the corner there, and I went to pass John on the inside, and he came down, and I was just going so fast. I couldn't slow up without running into the back of him. And once I got into the back of him, I tried stopping, but with these cars, I had so much front brake bias in it, it just locked the fronts up, and I slid through him.
Yeah, I mean, but that's just Martinsville racing for you. Sometimes there's a guy there and you just can't slow up in time, and unfortunately you put the bumper to him. But I mean, that's exactly what you expect here at especially Martinsville, but really just short track racing in general. But you come up on top. So anybody you want to thank, friends, family, sponsors, anybody for this win here at Martinsville?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I want to thank Sim Sim Rap Market for coming on board and sponsoring the league. You know, I went and bought one of their wraps and put my logos and stuff on it, and it actually turned out pretty good. So yeah, big shout out to them and everybody that makes this happen.
Yeah, I gotta give a big shout out to Rod and everybody that runs this league. But I will drag you down to have you so you can celebrate with your friends and family at home. And once again, congratulations on this win at Martinsville.
All right, I appreciate it. Hopefully, I can come see y'all again next week.
Yeah, for sure. And that was your winner, Matt Cherry, your winner here at Martinsville. So before we go, we'll go ahead and do another rundown of your race results for anybody that just came into the stream post the race. Matt Cherry, your winner here at Martinsville. Michael Milfett Jr., who we just talked to just not that long ago, your P2 finisher. Johnny Hamby, P3. Rod Mitten, seems like, from what I've heard, just made a mistake in the turn one. I was not looking at Rod that last lap, obviously watching the race for the lead. I thought maybe he got moved for that second place spot. Looks like Rod just made a mistake. John Freeman recovering to a P5. You saw his frustration post race after getting moved out of the way for the win. Sean Boundy, P6. Jace Parrish, P7. Matt Rodolasso, P8. Heath Smith, P9. And Michael Doby is going to round out your top 10. Zach Stroop is going to be P11. Bill Paradise, P12. Daniel Half is going to be P13. P14 is Charles Widner. And rounding out your top 15 is going to be Tim Paradiso. P16 is Patrick Blundell. P17 is going to be Jack Watts. Noah Rainwater. P18. P19 is going to be Anthony Burleson. And rounding out your top 20 is going to be Tyler Chalk. And P21 and P22 is Justin Blackburn and Shane Huffman. Unfortunately, tough races for them. But from here, at Martinsville Speedway, once again, I am Christian Delgado, your voice of today's race. Once again, you got to have a huge thank you to SWM Sim Rap Market for sponsoring this Gen 4 League race. Got a huge shout out to Elevated TV for letting me come on board and broadcast this races. I have such a great time doing this. And got to thank the fans at home for coming out here and virtually cheering on your favorite drivers at home, are just coming and supporting the broadcast, right? We couldn't do it without you fans at home. We definitely couldn't do it without these drivers coming out here and putting a show on for us. So once again, my name is Christian Delgado, the voice of the SWM Gen 4 series, and I will see you guys next week. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Monday night, and we'll see you guys here next Monday. Once again, hope you guys have a great rest of your night, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye.